Good morning, family. You are watching EME Transparent and Transformational Tuesday. I am your host, Ashley D, and I'm so excited that you decided to tune in with me on this beautiful Tuesday morning as we continue to talk about mental health awareness. And just to be honest, so after I recorded my video yesterday, I was reminded of why God had gave me the theme for Tuesday to be Transparent Transformational Tuesday. And it's because in order for us to really transform and be who He has called us to be, we have to be transparent. We have to be real about who we are and what we go through and what we face. And so for this Tuesday, I want to talk about anxiety, and because anxiety is very real in my life. So, which is why I'm comfortable, this is like a whole therapy session of me expressing, some of the things that I go through. So anxiety is a very real thing in my life, and it has been at least like the past, I'm gonna say maybe 3 years now. So if you know, if you've been in relationship with me, friendship with me for a long time, for years, I did so much. Like, there was nothing that I wasn't a part of. I was going to school full time, I was working full time or part time. I was, serving at my church, serving at another church, part of a community choir. I was praise dancing at one point. I did so many different things. My schedule was always hectic. Going to 2-3 services on a Sunday was a norm. Going to rehearsals like throughout the week was a norm. It was just, I had a lot that I did, trying to find my footing as a young adult, trying to just be active, do things that I like to do. They were all things that I like to do. And I was going to make my coins. So, I was going to work. I was going to work full time. I was going to go to school full time. I was going to even have a part-time gig on the side. Those were the things that I did for so long in my life. But now, when our parents say that when you turn 30, when you get over that 30 hump, things begin to change, they were not lying, because that definitely has been my story. And so I definitely been dealing with anxiety the past 3 years. I'm 33 now, so the past 3 years, where my capacity is not as large as it used to be. I don't have the same energy to do certain things. I don't have the same energy to do all that I did for so long, for 10 and 15 years of my life. So I'm starting to slow down. And so when I feel overwhelmed, when I feel overworked, when I feel like I'm being attacked, my anxiety elevates. And it elevates in a way to the place where I worry, I'm fearful, I begin to shake quite a bit. And so it's just completely different. I start to have heart palpitations, trying to catch my breath, because I am just so overwhelmed with all that's going on. And so I had to learn how to find a quiet space. I had to learn how to walk away from some things, or actually be more vocal and say, I cannot do this, or this is too much, or I need a moment, can we table this for another time? These were so many different things that I had to learn how to start saying, when normally with me, if you asked me to do something, or you kind of voluntold me to do something, it's like, okay, yeah, I got it. I was very flexible for so long. I've been very flexible. I can do, anything, everything, and it didn't affect me. I was just do it because it's just what I love to do. I love to help people. I love to be there for people. I love to do certain things. So it just came naturally. But now in this season of my life, I just don't have the capacity. I have to say no sometimes. I have to take a moment and rest. It's so when I tell you my anxiety is so crazy. So this first quarter of the year, I had so many plans to do so many different things, but all of that changed at the drop of a hat. If you know, you know. If you don't, continue to pray. It's getting better. So, but I went through so much in this first quarter of the year. and my anxiety was very much elevated for a lot of the time. And so there were so many moments where I cried in the shower, so many moments where, you know, I had to like find a space and sit quietly because like I was shaking. I was just like so overwhelmed with all that was going on. But yeah, I had to keep pushing through because things needed to be done. And so recently, I had to turn in my car because I had a major oil leak. I had to get a new car recently, and it took them 2-3 weeks to get everything resolved. And so that was 3 weeks without a car, so I was planning on taking Ubers back and forth to work to do what I had to do. But, thank God for family. My dad took me to work every day. My aunt picked me up every day. And, I just kept it there, unless I had to go to church, which I was able to, jump in the car with somebody, get to church, do what I needed to do. And so I had, in those 3 weeks, normally old Ash would be like, what am I going to do without my car? Because I got to do this, I got to do that. So I had to be limited to, first off, the help of other people. And then I had to just stick to the basics of church, work, and home. But those 3 weeks were probably like the best 3 weeks I had in a long time because it allowed me to find balance again. It allowed me to do some things that I needed to do for myself and needed to do here at home, because, when you're constantly on the go, some things get neglected that you need to do for yourself, your self-care, as well as what you need to do at home to have a better flow. So throughout these 3 weeks, I have rested more than you could possibly believe. I have did some major cleaning. Oftentimes, y'all, we gotta do that spring cleaning, and for once I did some major spring cleaning, and I'm so proud of myself because things are so much organized and I can move a whole lot better. So I got to do that. I got to really pray and be in the presence of God a lot more. I got to revamp some things for EME, for my church, just a lot of different things that I've been wanting to do, but because I've been so much on the go, I have not been able to do it. So I actually enjoyed these 3 weeks where my anxiety wasn't elevated, where I just could really be in a space of taking care of me and spending more time in the presence of God. And it just was everything I need to be. And so what I want to tell you with anxiety is you have to find a space to take care of you. We're always going to have some overwhelming times. We're always going to have some moments where, it just seems like we're being pulled in several directions. But it's okay to say no. It's okay to say, not right now. Let's table this. Let's talk about this later. It's okay with, pulling yourself away from some things for a while or from some people for a while in order to find your balance again, in order to, find your own rhythm, anxiety. And being in the presence of God is always the best place for me to be when my anxiety is elevated. I have to put some music in my ears, or I have to start praying. I have to start petitioning. I have to start quoting scripture to myself. Cast your cares upon him, for he cares for you. The fact that he'll never leave me nor forsake me, he got my back. And oftentimes too, I had to realize in being in his presence is the fact that, we always try to be the answer to everything instead of allowing God to be the answer, instead of allowing him to be who he is, and so I have definitely learned how to back away and say, God, I just need you to be God. I need you to do the impossible. I need you to do what I cannot do. And so today, just me sharing with you, I know I said a lot, because this is something that I honestly deal with often, is the fact that when you deal with anxiety, it is very much real. It's very much, it will put you in the shakes. It would make you feel fearful, begin to worry. I've never been a worrier, but, I'm starting to worry a little bit, that kicks in a little bit, because when you're unable to do what you used to do, you begin to worry about how is it going to get done. But then that's when you have to tap into who God is, so I've learned how to tap into and remind myself that God can do more than I can ever possibly do. And so I have to tap into that often when my anxiety elevates. So today, on this Transparent Transformational Tuesday, I want you to know that anxiety is very real, and you have to take out the time to allow God to be God. You have to take care of yourself. So whatever it is that gets you to a calm place, whether it's being in his presence, whether it's sitting in a corner and just woosah, I have to do some breathing exercises, sometimes to slow down my breathing. I have to take a walk. Sometimes that means you might have to take a walk for a little while just to bring all of that down. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself and to minimize the anxiety that you face. No longer worry. Allow God. Just pray and petition God for what you need him to do in your life, especially in those challenges, situations that you are in, and I promise you he will run to your rescue and take care of it. Listen, me not having my car for 3 weeks, the only worry and concern that I had was the fact of worrying whether or not I was going to be an inconvenience to someone. But besides that, just being limited to church, work, and home, I was very excited because it allowed me to get back to me and find a safe space for myself and find a new rhythm and a new balance and just having more of a healthier life and space. So today, if you're dealing with anxiety, know that it's very real. Know that you have to take care of yourself, and you have to allow God to be God and begin to cast your cares on him, for he cares for you and he got your back, and it's going to be okay. Do your breathing exercises, walk if you have to, put music in your ears, whatever that brings you to a safe and calm space, begin to do it. And I promise you, you'll be okay. You're going to survive this difficult and challenging time. So I hope something was said to encourage you on this Tuesday morning. Thank you so much for tuning in and to executing my Exodus Ministries Transparent Transformational Tuesday. I will see you tomorrow for Worship Wednesday, and I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless you.